want to be an apex predator.
You've always had everything, while people like me have had nothing. Well, now it's my turn. Get used to it.
I've never been one for rules. The answer is always more.
That was a look at Wonder Woman 1984. The film is set to hit theaters and HBO Max on Christmas Day. The movie was filmed right here in D.C. before the pandemic, of course, happened. It stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, and Kristen Wiig. Kevin talked to Kristen about the film and an upcoming anniversary for Bridesmaids.
Hey everybody, it's Kevin McCarthy. I'm here at the bullpen for a Fox 5 field trip today here in D.C., but I still want to talk about the movies. Wonder Woman 1984 is coming to theaters and HBO Max on Christmas Day, and I had the chance to catch up with one of the villains in the film, Cheetah herself, Kristen Wiig, to talk all about filming the movie right here in the Washington, D.C. area and the 10-year anniversary of Bridesmaids coming up next year. Take a look. Obviously, I'm in D.C., so I have to ask you a D.C. question. Your first shot is that awesome power walk that you're doing and going over the bridge, and we look to the monument. I just wanted to ask about memories of shooting here. What did it do for your performance to have this physical element around you? So what did it mean to shoot here in D.C. for you as an actor?
I loved D.C. I loved it. I stayed in, I want to say Adams
Morgan. Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah.
I loved it. I went there when I was like a kid, you know, for like a field trip when I lived in Pennsylvania. So I hadn't been there in like a very long time. And it was like one of my favorite places that I've shot. I loved it. And the food there is really good. And yeah, I'm a big DC fan.
I don't want to be like anyone. I want to be an apex predator.
One of the best oh my god moments in the film is you're walking to that party. It's such a great iconic moment for the character, and I just wanted to ask about filming that scene. Did it feel as cool to shoot it as it did for us to watch it? And also the way you walk in, it's very specific. And is it kind of like a cat walk? Is that the idea of that?
Yeah, I mean, I did talk to Patty about, we did, that walk was definitely like deliberate. And it's also just, you know, Barbara's obviously getting more confident, and yeah, it was really cool. Also, just like that set was really amazing with all the people that are dressed up, and it was the 80s and the music was playing and the lights. This
is amazing to me that next year is the 10th anniversary of Bridesmaids. It turns 10 next year, which is it's insane. And I guess only because
long ago.
But it's such an amazing, brilliant film that Paul Feig did. And I'm just wondering, do you have a specific memory of that film that you look back on? Obviously, the plane scene is iconic, but are there scenes that you look back on fondly and that are more memorable for you?
It's really hard to pick one. If I had to, I really loved the scene with Rose when we were at the engagement party, like taking the mic from each other, and so much of that we just kind of like did on the fly. And that was another one that was like really late at night, and we were all just like a little loopy and tired. And it was in the very beginning of the shoot, and that was sort of like the moment where we're like, okay, all right, we can like relax a little bit.
That space oddity needle drop in Walter Mitty is one of my favorite moments of all time in cinema. I watched that, like, with my wife and I watch that movie once a year, and that that whole song, that sequence, and he runs out to the helicopter is just genius. So
that's so nice. It's one of my favorite movies that I've ever done, and it's really special to me. So I love that. Thank you.
All right, so Wonder Woman 1984 is hitting HBO Max and theaters on Christmas Day. We're going to have more interviews with the cast coming up, including Pedro Pascal, who plays the Mandalorian, also Gal Gadot, who plays Wonder Woman herself in the film. We'll have all those interviews coming up right here on Good Day DC. I'm Kevin McCarthy here at the bullpen in Washington, D.C. on a Fox 5 field trip, Fox 5 Local News.